Well, greetings, friends. My name is Wayne Smele. I am one of the executive pastors at Center Street Church, and I have had the blessing of being connected to Camp Harmattan since 1989. In 1989, as a sales rep for a coffee and orange juice company, I came out to visit some friends, and they were serving at Camp Harmattan and some friends in Edmonton. And they came and asked if I would share my testimony of how Jesus changed my life. And it was incredible. I shared it at a youth camp. And it was there where God kind of put a place in my heart for Camp Harmattan. The following year, I took a leave of absence from work and came back to Harmattan to do a marketing study and survey. And I got involved in ministry. It was there where I ran my first camp. It was there where we had a lot of kids around the outdoor chapel, as we used to call it, and there was a fire pit. And I just remember one specific time where the speaker had really struck a nerve with a bunch of these kids. And kids were really coming up and dealing with business in their junior high lives. And I remember going, man, that is an incredible feeling. And it was then and there, friends, that I sensed God telling me to leave ministry. I like to say it was like these plates broke in my heart, where God called me into ministry. And I fell in love with teenagers. Shortly thereafter, I became the youth pastor of Calgary First Church of the Nazarene and was able to be involved with Camp Harmattan for many more years. So Camp Harmattan has a major piece in my spiritual development. I had amazing people who believed in me. They helped me along the way. They invested in me financially. They invested in me spiritually. They invested in my development, and they were there for me. And because they were connected to Harmattan, we were able to do ministry in a whole new way during those years. I've served as a camp director, a volunteer there. I've served on staff there, helped lead there. I've taken my church and my youth ministries there, and will continue to do so. I have a deep place of love and admiration for Camp Harmattan. I remember we, in the day, back in the 90s, myself and leaders like Jeff Baker and Wes Gorman and other people, we ran a junior high camp for 200 kids. This was crazy. They were everywhere. Every cabin was filled. Birch back then was over there, and it was full as well. And we saw God do incredible things. We saw all these kids coming from the churches to be in a supernatural setting, to be able to be spoken to by a supernatural God, and he did. It was incredible. And all the different camps, senior high and junior high, and still remember in the rafters, we would put the banners of our camp. And my first camp, The Great Adventure, which still to me is a momentum, a marker for me in my own life. It was a place that, I grew. I was baptized in the pool. I made my profession of faith. I sensed my calling there. I confirmed my love for my wife, Cheryl, there. And we did life with those at Harmattan. We were able to do ministry together. So Camp Harmattan has been so many milestones in my life, and I know it has been for many other people. And these kind of moments have cemented a love for this supernatural place. I have said many times, you can't flood it, you can't burn it, a snow slide can't take it away. God's got his hand and his spirit on Harmattan, and I think it's for an investment for the next generation. I think those in the 70s and 80s invested their time and talent and treasure, and I was the recipient of that. And I know I, invested in young people as a youth pastor for 25 years, bringing my youth groups and my church and my, influence to the camp where we brought people and they experienced Jesus. Even today, I still bring groups to Harmattan. And so I think Harmattan is a place worth investing in. Maybe not just for now, but I mean for the future. For that one kid who comes to a camp and finds Jesus for the first time. For a leader, that goes and serves and really gets a calling in their life. And even for at a family camp where some people are dealing with the stuff in their lives where God has a chance to change them. That's why I believe in Camp Harmattan. Camp Harmattan is worth investing. And I am so honored that they asked me to share a little bit of my story, why I believe in Camp Harmattan, why my wife and I support Camp Harmattan. We still go to Harmattan, and we will continue. It has a great place in our heart. Thanks for letting me share a little bit of my story. I pray that you will pray for your camp. I pray that you will let God use you at this camp. And I pray that you will invest, in this camp for future generations to be touched by Jesus. Thanks again. God bless you. Have yourself a great one.